When she said it, she didn't even look up from her phone. My ex is back in town and wants to catch up. You don't need to know the details, she smirked, like she was daring me to react. We were sitting in her apartment, folding laundry for the vacation we were supposed to leave for in 2 days. I remember staring at her, waiting for the punchline. But she just kept scrolling, completely unfazed, like I was some background extra in my own relationship. So I said, sure, as calmly as I could. She didn't notice the shift in my voice. She just smiled like she'd won something. That night, while she was in the shower humming like nothing was wrong, I opened my laptop and pulled up the airline website. The full refund popped up instantly. Hotel, refunded. Excursions, canceled. Every plan we had been building for months disappeared in 4 clicks. She came out wrapped in a towel, asking if I wanted to watch a movie. I said I was tired and headed home early. She didn't even walk me to the door, too busy texting someone with that same stupid smirk. The next morning, she didn't message me. Not a good morning, not a question, nothing. I guess she was too busy catching up. Meanwhile, I packed my own suitcase. Not with matching outfits or couple photo clothes, just my stuff. Passport, headphones, a book I'd been meaning to read, and the kind of peace you feel right before freedom. At the airport, I turned off my location. Her name lit up my screen once, then stopped. She probably assumed I was at work, clueless. I boarded the plane without a single second thought. Some people run because they're afraid to lose someone. I left because I finally realized I was the only one who was ever afraid. The first time she texted me, I was already lying in a beach chair with the sun on my face. Where are you? I ignored it. Not out of spite, just finally choosing silence over explanations. An hour later, are we still going to the airport tomorrow? I almost laughed. She really thought I was still playing along, still waiting for her like some loyal backup singer to her main act. By the time she finally realized I wasn't responding, the messages changed. Why aren't you answering? Did something happen? Can you call me? It's important. Nothing was important anymore. That evening, I ordered dinner at a small beach cafe, fresh seafood, cold drink, the kind of sunset people spend years chasing. The waiter asked if I was meeting someone. I told him no. I'm finally not waiting on anyone. My phone buzzed again, this time 15 missed calls. Then a voice message. Curiosity got me, so I listened. She was crying. The ugly kind, not sad, but panicked. Why would you disappear like this? I only said I was catching up with him because I didn't want to fight. You're being dramatic. Just tell me where you are so we can talk. There it was, the switch. Not accountability, control. I put my phone face down and went for a swim. The next morning, I woke up to over 30 messages. Screenshots from her friends, too. Apparently, she told everyone I abandoned her and ruined our trip out of nowhere. Funny how the truth never made it into her story. But the best part? One of her friends sent me a message privately. Just so you know, her ex never even wanted to meet. She was trying to make you jealous. Now she's freaking out. That told me everything I needed to know. By day 3, she went from crying to rage. So what, you just left? Over nothing. This is insane. Grow up. You owe me a conversation. No, I didn't. I spent those days actually living, sleeping in, talking to strangers, remembering what food tasted like when I wasn't swallowing resentment. I didn't cheat, didn't rebound, didn't rush into anything. I just finally existed without feeling like a placeholder. On the last night of my trip, a woman at the hotel bar asked if the seat next to me was taken. She was kind, easy to talk to, and actually listened when I spoke. For the first time in years, I didn't feel small. We talked for hours. Not flirting, just two people who didn't have to pretend. Meanwhile, my phone stayed silent in my pocket the whole night. Not because she stopped calling, because I finally stopped checking. Update. I got back home late on a Monday night. The flight was quiet, the kind where nobody talks, and the world feels like it's giving you space without asking why. When I unlocked the door, everything inside looked exactly the same, but it didn't feel the same. It was like walking into a life I had already stepped out of. There was a sticky note on the kitchen counter in her handwriting. We need to talk. I'll be back after work. I didn't wait. I started packing, not dramatically, not angrily. Just folding, sorting, removing myself from drawers the way you'd peel off an old sticker. Slowly, cleanly, no residue. Around noon, I heard the front door slam and her voice calling my name like she owned the echo. When she saw the suitcase, her face went blank, like her brain short-circuited. What are you doing?" I zipped the bag and said, as calmly as someone stating the weather, "You told me I didn't need to know the details." "I agree." She laughed, the shaky kind that tries to turn reality into a joke. "Come on, you're seriously ending things over a misunderstanding? I didn't even meet him. I didn't ask for proof. I didn't care anymore." She followed me from room to room, words spilling faster than footsteps. "You blindsided me. You abandoned me. You made me look stupid. You took our trip alone just to punish me. Are you seeing someone? Just say it." It was like watching someone fight smoke. When she realized I wasn't arguing back, her tone shifted into that soft, manufactured vulnerability she used whenever consequences showed up. "I only said that because I was scared you'd leave if you knew he reached out. I didn't want to lose you." Funny how people only confess when the door is already open. I told her I'd send the rest of my things later. She blocked the doorway, eyes red, breathing fast. "So you're just done? Like that? After everything?" I took a slow breath because rushing would have made it cruel. We weren't a team anymore. I was an option. "I'm not angry. I'm just finished." She stopped talking, not because she understood, but because the control wasn't working. I walked past her, pulled the door shut behind me, and for the first time in years, I didn't look back to see her reaction. Outside, the air felt different. Not lighter, just honest. That night, she sent a long paragraph. "Can we at least stay together while we work through this privately? People already think we broke up because of something I did." There it was. Not grief. Not love. Image management. I didn't reply. The next morning, I woke up to a flood of messages from mutual friends, half of them concerned, the other half pretending to be neutral while clearly fishing for gossip. One wrote, "She's saying you overreacted and disappeared without warning. Is that true?" Instead of explaining, I sent a single screenshot, her exact text. "My ex is back in town and wants to catch up. You don't need to know the details." No commentary, no revenge, just reality. The responses changed instantly. "Oh, yeah, I get it now. Take care of yourself, man." People understand truth better when it's quiet. Later that week, her sister called me, not to defend her, but to apologize. "She's been doing this for years," she said, "making people feel lucky to stay while she keeps a backup exit. I'm sorry you got caught in it." It didn't make anything easier, but it made something clear. I didn't leave because someone else came back into her life. I left because I finally did. Final update that it's been 4 months since I got off that plane. I didn't post updates because nothing explosive happened. No dramatic confrontations, no last-minute apologies, no viral moments. Just life moving forward, quietly, deliberately. At first, I felt odd without her constant interference. No messages to decode, no manipulations to anticipate. My phone stayed silent, and the quiet was almost unbearable. But gradually, I realized how much space I had been giving up for someone else's chaos. I started noticing ordinary things again. The way sunlight hits the kitchen in the morning, the smell of coffee brewing, the sound of waves at the beach that no one was arguing over. I cooked for myself. I laughed with friends without checking my phone 100 times to see if she'd texted. I slept deeply, without tossing and turning over her whims. A few weeks later, I ran into one of our mutual friends at a cafe. We talked briefly, and they mentioned that Maya had tried to spin the story to make herself the victim. Most people didn't believe her. That didn't make me gloat. It just confirmed what I already knew. Her narrative was never my problem to manage. I haven't seen her since. Not her texts, not her calls. Even when the occasional social media post shows up, I scroll past. For the first time, I'm not watching someone else's life like it's a second job. And I've started to let myself feel something I haven't felt in years: freedom without guilt. Not because I'm above her, but because I finally stopped letting her define my value or my choices. I've even started dating casually, slowly, intentionally. Nothing urgent, nothing dramatic. Just two people figuring out how to exist together without manipulation or control. And for the first time, I'm enjoying the uncertainty because it's real. Not a performance, Not a test, not a trap. I've learned something simple, but hard. When someone asks you to choose between your dignity and staying with them, the right answer is always yourself. It doesn't feel heroic. It doesn't feel clean. But it feels like the first day of the rest of my life, where I'm the one in control and the quiet finally has meaning. And that's enough.